Let's just return, though, to the US presidential race, and Tom Switzer from the US Studies Centre is with us. Tom, we were talking about the importance of Ohio, the swing states. Florida, I guess, is another one, although that seems to be stacking up for Obama more than Romney at the moment. Is that the case?
I think that most polls probably show Romney at this stage he did have a 2 to 3 point lead about a week ago. Now it's down to about 1.5, so it is within the margin of error. But bear in mind there are other battleground states that are also within the margin of error. And again, I think the fundamentals are in place now. I don't think there's going to be a dramatic change in the course of the next 4 days. There was, of course, in 2000, you may recall, Governor Bush had a 4-point lead over Al Gore 4 or 5 days before the election. And then Fox News Channel, of all networks, broke the story about his drink-driving escapades with the Australian tennis player John Newcombe, and he was busted for drinking over the limit. So that hurt him dramatically with a lot of evangelicals, and then it was a tight election. I think it's unlikely any major scandals are going to take place over the next 4 days. Fundamentals are in place. It all comes down on turnout on the day.
But also, obviously, jobs are crucial. We've just had the latest jobs report. It was the last piece of economic news really before the election. How crucial is that? Of course, we've seen both parties twist and spin those figures to their advantage.
Yeah, well, the Democrats quite understandably will make a big deal about this because it is a better jobs report than they expected. 170,000 jobs created in the month of October, which is the most job growth for a month this year. So that just demonstrates that the economy is on an upswing, but it is very lacklustre growth. And this is the point that Romney's making. The unemployment rate went up 7.9%, as Kim Land has just pointed out. Not since the war has a president been re-elected when the unemployment rate is 7.4% or higher. The other point the Republicans are making is that when President Obama came to power in early 2009, he pledged that his big spending stimulus package would lead to an unemployment rate of between 5.6 and 6% by election day. That clearly hasn't happened. So there is a lot of angst in the community, and the economy is the major issue in this campaign.
You were talking earlier, Tom, about you don't suspect that there will be any sort of dramatic events in the last 4 days before Of course, the latest sort of dramatic event has been a natural disaster. How do you think Obama has come out on the back
Look,
of that?
I think all things considered, he's done a very good job. He's looked presidential, cool, calm, collected commander-in-chief. He's received some welcome bipartisan support from Republican governors from crucial states. New Jersey was always going to be a Democratic state, but the shots of Chris Christie, the charismatic big Republican governor, that was gold for President Obama. Showed that he could reach across.
Well, it was almost traitorous as far as the Republicans are
concerned. Some of them were very upset about that, Andrew, exactly. And there's also Bill McConnell, who's the governor of Virginia. Now, that is a crucial battleground state, and Virginia has been battered and bruised, although not as much as New York and New Jersey and other parts of the Northeast.
And we've had the likes of Colin Powell come out and support. The independent Michael Bloomberg, I guess no surprise. New York doesn't really matter because they've pretty much got... Obama has New York sewn up already, doesn't he?
That's true, although I would argue that Lee Iacocca, who was the head of Chrysler for many years, a big auto company in the United States, in the crucial state of Michigan, him coming out supporting Romney was quite significant because Michigan is in play, and Michigan, like Ohio, benefited a lot from the president's bailout of the auto industry. The conventional wisdom is that is helping Obama with a lot of working class voters in those states. But Lee Iacocca coming out supporting Romney on this issue of the automobile industry was quite significant, I thought, because that is a swing state, whereas Bloomberg represents New York. That is a very blue Democratic state. That's not going to change. One of the key points I think to bear in mind is that it could all come down to just a few states like New Hampshire, which is only 4 electoral college votes. In 2000 it all came down to Florida. In 2004 it all came down to Ohio. It's conceivable a state like New Hampshire or Wisconsin could swing the balance of power. Anything's possible. Okay, and of course, Tom, if there's a tie, 269 seats, then we're all in trouble because it goes to the House of Representatives.
A repeat of 2000. Do we want that? Maybe not. Tom, this is your last chance on Weekend Breakfast to make a call. Who's going to win?
Well, look, I have to stress that the conventional wisdom and the betting markets point to an Obama victory. I'm a Liberal, I'm a contrarian. I just think that times are tough right now in America, and the unemployment rate, the skyrocketing levels of debt, they're preying on the minds of a lot of people. So I think Romney, but I readily concede it's very close, and I'm more than happy to have egg on my face on Wednesday afternoon or Thursday morning.
Okay, we'll have to wait and see.
Thanks,
Tom
Miriam.
Switzer, thanks so much.
Andrew.